Resource mobilization process. Resource mobilization process. Getting resource for an organization goes through a number of steps, so it is important to understand the resource mobilization process. Objectives. By the end of our discussion, we shall be able to develop a resource mobilization plan, to explain the benefit of linking this plan to an organization's strategic plan, and lastly, to design your own framework. Resource mobilization plan. Let us start by looking at what a resource mobilization plan is. We can define a resource mobilization plan as a detailed list of strategic priorities, goals and objectives, and prospective donors of the resources to the entity. You find that when a firm is well managed and pass the key messages effectively to target funders, it will be easy for it to raise resources and use it to grow. When coming up with a resource mobilization plan, it's important to know the vision, mission, and goals of the organization and be aligned with specific objectives for raising those resources. Steps in resource mobilization. To get the resources we require in our organization, we can follow the following steps. Step 1. Do organizational situation analysis. Step 2. Do resource mobilization environment analysis and donor mapping. Step 3. Construction a statement of funding need. Step 4. Prospect and communicate with potential or prospective funders. And finally, step 5. Monitor and evaluate your resource mobilization effort. Do organizational situation analysis. The first step of resource mobilization is organizational situation analysis. When doing this, you need to focus on the following areas: organization structure, vision, mission, goals of the organization, and strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, that is SWOT. That means you need to do what we call SWOT analysis. Organization structure. When looking at organizational structure, you need to ask yourself the following questions. Do I have a team to carry out the work of resource mobilization? Are the members of the team aware of the individual's roles in the work? Is there a leader for this team? Is the team aware of the vision, mission, and goals of the work or campaign? Am I and my team able to communicate well the theme of resource mobilization? And finally, am I able to prepare an abstract that I can hand out should I meet with a potential source? SWOT analysis. While doing SWOT analysis, you will ask yourself the following questions. What strengths do I possess to help me mobilize resources for the project? What are the weaknesses that I may need strengthening in order for me to carry out a resource mobilization easily? What are the opportunities for me to carry out resource mobilization activities? And lastly, what are the threats that I may face in carrying out resource mobilization activities? After doing all this, then ask yourself, what is the analysis say? Here, you will have these questions to answer. Is a team ready and has full capacity to mobilize resources? What factors, both internal and external environment, that would impact my ability to mobilize resources? How would I retain my strengths to take advantage of the opportunities or overcome threats? And lastly, how would I deal with weaknesses identified in SWOT? When you answer these questions, you will be able to know whether you can mobilize a resource or not. Understanding resource mobilization environment. We need to scan the environment in order to understand the new trends for supporting your idea, to know in which areas you can find donors funding your cause, to understand the requirements for funding, And lastly, to construct a donor map and identify where your current donors are concentrated.